If you don't understand this one concept about how money moves, you will never be in control of money in any business you ever start, ever. I can distill the whole concept down to one sentence, but beyond that sentence is a whole world of business that'll open up for you if you pay attention to what this one sentence means. The exchange of money is an exchange of confidence. I've handled tens of millions of dollars of cash over the last couple of years, and when I realized this, my world changed. I'll say it again, the exchange of money is an exchange of confidence. First example, behind my penthouse here is the W, a grand example of how they build confidence in a brand in order to get you to come away from your money, or to exchange your money for an experience staying at the W. One of the primary principles that you need to understand about money is it doesn't grow on trees. But what that means is whenever somebody spends money, they lose it. It's gone. People have been taking L's their whole life, and people have been swindled so frequently out of small amounts of money that buyers are more and more and more skeptical than they've ever been before. Another primary principle about money, or about purchases with money, is all sales are emotional. Every single one is based on emotion, and people justify those transactions with logic. My dad loves Harley Davidson. He'll go buy a motorcycle and he'll go fast. His logic about why he bought a Harley is probably something about American made, durability, the motorcycles are heavier so they're safer, something. But behind that all is still the I want to go fast emotional feeling that he gets from buying a Harley Davidson. There's an emotional embed in the purchase. I want you to think about how emotionally somebody might be more attached to staying at the W than staying at a Red Roof Inn. Positive and negative emotions are always at play. So you might say, oh, staying at the W is just a logical choice as opposed to the Red Roof Inn. It's not logical. Somebody's disgusted by the Red Roof Inn, and the disgust drives them to spend more money, and thus they choose something like this. As you build any brand, your brand will have logical avenues to reach a customer and activate their emotions. This is why it is said that if you compete on price, you're not going to win. There is a third-party fear in the world right now with economy, recession, inflation that will affect your brand, and being cost competitive when people have third-party cost-based fears is part of your brand value. So competing on price is okay, as long as that's not the only thing that you do. I think we are in a grand time to compete on price. Now, because we don't want to just compete on price, one thing I read in a book once that I thought was really, really cool, a way to market to customers to get them to choose you or to feel more aligned with you is to cut out and cut away consumer types that you say we don't want to do business with. Here's an example. When I was a kid, there was a TV commercial for a deodorant called Secret, and their brand, their slogan was strong enough for a man, made for a woman. That was an early version of this, where people were starting to cut away different groups of people. They're saying that it's made for a woman. They didn't say no boys allowed, but they said strong enough for a man, good enough for a man, made for a woman. And another example is Planet Fitness. They literally have videos making fun of meatheads, people about as big as me or larger, picking things up and putting them down. They go, you're not allowed here. Planet Fitness is for normal people. Cut away people that would not buy your product anyway, and it makes the rest of the people that could buy your product feel more seen, feel more heard. And what this circles around to is somebody has money that they're going to lose. On that transaction, they're going to send money into the ether, and they're going to hope that they don't regret that purchase. They want to have confidence that they will get something back out of it. And a lot of times that hope that they don't have buyer's remorse is all you ever need to know about how you're going to serve your customers. I will say that again. The hope that a customer does not have buyer's remorse with your purchase is all you need to know about your customer. You can ask in any industry, when somebody is buying my type of product or my type of service from my competition, they're giving confidence to a company, and what is their greatest fear in that moment? If you can solve that problem, you win all of the market share. All of it. For this reason, Airbnb and Vrbo have both done some big things. Now, this isn't a short-term rental video, but you short-term rental hosts who are listening, I haven't made a video about this yet. Not only has Airbnb made a cancellation policy that will charge you 10% of a host cancellation up to $1,000, they removed that $1,000 cap. So luxury listings that could charge $30,000 or $40,000 for a reservation, they will pay $3,000 or $4,000 as a fine, and the guest gets a full refund if the host cancels. But wait, there's more. Vrbo, just a few days later, also did a cancellation policy that will charge you up to 50% of a reservation's value depending on when you cancel as a host. Up to 50%. Absolutely insane. But now let's look at the customer. What are Airbnb and Vrbo both trying to accomplish with this? They are trying to kill one of the things that customers do not have confidence in. When I book a short-term rental, I am not confident that I will still have my reservation by the time the date arrives. So Airbnb and Vrbo are both ratcheting up systems against cancellations to give customers their confidence. Further in that space, Brian Chesky's talked about price and about cleaning fees, and he's trying to rein that in because that's another primary area that Airbnb guests do not have confidence in. In my world as a coach, let me give you a look behind the veil. I'm not sure anybody who sells a course would want to tell you what I'm about to tell you, but let me tell you, there are 4 things that a customer has to have confidence in if they're going to pay me to be their Airbnb coach. First is that a person has to believe that short-term rentals is a worthwhile endeavor. Whenever anybody buys any program at all, whether it's a short-term rentals program, Amazon FBA, copywriting, online marketing, even like a personal training package, anything, they have to believe that this is a worthy endeavor. Second, they have to believe that paying for mentorship or paying for a program will give them results great enough to offset the fact that they're paying money for a program as opposed to going at it for free. Most of you know that I've made a huge audience giving away so much of my content for free, which killed everybody else's courses sales. It worked out, didn't it? But the greater the product price, the greater of the barrier that somebody has to believe that paying for content is worth more than getting free content. And that's also why a lot of coaches are going into mentorship, because so much content is free, mentorship is the alpha. And that's why my coaching program, we have like 12 hours a week of coaching that we do live every week. 12 hours, it's huge. It's a lot. I do 4 hours of that, and I've got 4 other coaches in the program, but that is the alpha to sell programs. As a coach that sells programs, I'm just giving you my sauce. Third, they have to believe in the mentor, in the coach, in the program. So here I am on YouTube trying to show the world that I'm smart, that I'm creative, that I'm relatable, that I can take people from very meager situations and make them great, stuff like that. If I ever want to sell somebody a program, I have to bridge the gap of this person can or cannot teach me. And that's why content can be a killer for some people. And that's why a lot of people don't give away a lot of free content online. Because if a coach gives away free content and he sucks at teaching his free content, people lose faith in him as a coach. So a lot of coaches who are not great teachers try to cover everything by a paywall because they are nervous that they'll get found out for being a bad coach on their free content. It's like a double-edged sword, you could say. Fourth is the belief of self. They have to believe that even if all 3 line up, good coach, good program worth the money, good industry, they have to believe that they themselves are capable of having success in the industry or with the program that they're joining. And this is why a recessionary market will kill course sales across the board for so many people. See, I interview people for my content machine a good often bit. People who are remote closers, setters, content editors, stuff like that. And I hear how other coaches are doing in the world of content. People don't have confidence to pay a coach in a recessionary market, whether they don't believe that paying for the content is worth it anymore, or largely customers don't believe in themselves because customers are losing right now. People are losing their jobs. Inflation is running amok. People are trying things and failing left and right because we are in a harder version of society than we have ever been in before. Looking at the housing market as an example, the amount of time that somebody has to work, hours per month, to afford a mortgage is at an all-time historical high. It's higher than it's ever been before. It is the hardest time in human history to buy property than it's ever been before. That doesn't exactly lend to confidence, does it? So in this market cycle, if I'm going to tell you what company to start, I would tell you to get into vices and escapism. If I'm going to give you a completely secular, objective, academic answer of what you should start a company selling vapes, sugar, and cartoons. You need to sell escapism from the harsh reality that exists today. Now, if you're an Airbnb host, you notice that there's a little thread in there for you. If your properties can be a form of escape, you can sell escapism in this hard economy. People want to get away from how hard and how terrible their world is. People a lot of times don't want you to solve their problems. They just want you to hear their problems, hold space for their problems. Have you ever heard somebody say, my boyfriend, all he ever wants to do is fix my problems and I hate it? Or have you ever been that boyfriend? Because that's me. I, in my relationships, fail to listen to the fact that somebody just wants me to listen. They don't want me to solve it for them. Hence maybe why I'm single again. But that is my life. And Ghost of Christmas to come, guys. Stop trying to fix everybody's problems. Let them escape. Just let them get out of their own head. And as an Airbnb host, you can pull this off too. And if you sell personal training, instead of selling the body change that somebody wants to have. Instead of selling just a body composition change, where they hope to look better at the end of the day, sell an escape in the moment. Sell a way for somebody to get out of their head, out of their self-judgment. This is how you can get people to do business with you, make them feel better in the moment. In this economy, people want to feel better right now. If you're ever trying to close a sale or negotiate a contract, understand that that money exchange is an exchange of confidence. Somebody has to either believe in an idea or believe in you. And venture capitalists will say this: I will rather invest in an A person with a B idea than an A idea with a B person, because venture capitalists have confidence in A-type people to make B-type ideas make a lot of money. But venture capitalists don't have confidence in B-type people, regardless of the idea. This really spells out the point here. The exchange of money is the exchange of confidence. I hope this video helped. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you on the other side.